Hello, my beautiful friend. It's Betsy Gutting. Welcome back to my channel. Let's talk about the Capricorn full moon. The Capricorn full moon is happening at 11:37 a.m. Pacific time, 2:37 p.m. Eastern time, and 6:37 p.m. Universal time. This full moon feels important and significant. It's bringing us an awakening, liberating truth, a chance to release a burden that has been unconscious to us up until now. It feels like we're lightening our load. We are letting go of something that maybe has plagued us in our relationships for some time, maybe even our whole lives since childhood. So this is a really significant full moon. It's giving us the opportunity to find a new sense of balance and harmony within ourselves and within our relationships. So I'm really excited for this full moon. Now, this full moon is happening at 21 degrees of Capricorn. So wherever you have 21 degrees in your natal astrology chart is where you will be feeling this. And if you have planets or points between 16 and 26 degrees of Capricorn, or the other cardinal signs of Aries, Libra, or Cancer, you will be feeling this full moon in Capricorn more personally. And of course, I'm going to be doing readings for all 12 signs. I'm going to be pulling an oracle card for each sign, as well as giving you a message from Spirit and letting you know where this is happening for you, in which house, which area of life is this happening for you. So you want to listen to your sun, moon, and your rising signs because they each give you a different piece of the puzzle. Your rising sign is the area of life specifically where this is happening for you. Your moon sign is where it's happening for you on an emotional level, and your sun sign is where it's happening on a 3D personality level. But before you jump to those, be sure and listen to the aspects that are happening for all of us so I can share with you how to navigate the energies of this full moon. Now, if you're new to me, I want to say hi and welcome. I am an intuitive life coach as well as a psychic astrologer, and I love helping you to free yourself to follow your heart's true calling or to move through any challenges that you are going through right now. So check out my astrology consultations if you would like a personal reading, as well as my soul alchemy coaching and clarity coaching sessions if you would like support on moving through whatever you're going through or help creating and manifesting and bringing into reality a new vision for your life. And if you would take one moment right now to hit like and click subscribe so you don't miss another video, you really help my channel grow, and I am deeply grateful to you for this. So let's get into it. Now, all full moons are oppositions, meaning that the sun is opposite the moon on the zodiac wheel. And this means that there is a tension between the sun and the moon, kind of a push-pull that we often experience in our relationships during a full moon. For this full moon in Capricorn, the sun is in Cancer, the sign of the mother archetype, and the moon is in Capricorn, the sign of the father archetype. So right away we know that this is taking us back to our childhood. This is the parental access. This is where we had our first experiences of our mother and our father meeting our emotional needs or not meeting our emotional needs. The Cancer and Capricorn energies are also symbolic of the divine feminine and the divine masculine within all of us, male and female. So we're going to be getting the opportunity to balance this feminine energy and this masculine energy within us and within our relationships. Full moons often bring something to fruition. There's like a culmination, a graduation, a leveling up, a real earthly manifestation, especially in Capricorn, because Capricorn is a cardinal earth sign, meaning that it initiates things, it has a sense of ambition, it wants achievement, it wants to create a structure, it's a building energy. In Capricorn, we want to build a solid, sustainable foundation. So this full moon, wherever it's happening for you, whether it's happening in a relationship house, a career house, a money house, or a health house, for example, is asking you, do you have a solid, sustainable foundation here? Is there a crack in your foundation? And if there is a crack, Do you want to fix this crack, or do you want to move on from the situation, the job, the relationship, or whatever it is that is up for you during this full moon? Capricorn's ruled by Saturn, and Saturn requires us to do the work, the inner work and the outer work, in order to receive recognition, to be rewarded. And these are the things that we want in Capricorn. We're really looking at, am I getting the rewards that I deserve? Am I being recognized? Am I being seen? The highest octave of Capricorn energy is when we have our own back and when we have other people's back, people who are important to us. It's where we commit. It's where we're there for other people. It's where we are the rock. We're solid. People can count on us. It's a reliable energy. The lower octave is when we emotionally withdraw, when we go cold on people, when we're not there for others, when we break our commitments. That's the lower octave. That's the shadow side that some of us may be working with during this full moon. Now, I'm not saying that some of us won't be letting go of relationships and other situations that are no longer good for us during this full moon. Some of you will be doing that, no doubt. Now let's look at the aspects for this full moon. There's some intensity, no doubt, to this full moon because Pluto is involved. We also have, though, some easier, more flowing aspects. So there's a complexity to it that is going to take us on a little bit of a journey, and we're going to come out the other side feeling lighter, feeling more empowered, and feeling freer than ever. First of all, the moon is conjunct Pluto retrograde. Pluto eliminates, Pluto detoxifies. Pluto is where we can get into power struggles with other people. Pluto is where we are in this process of rebalancing power, where we are looking at unconscious drivers from our childhood conditioning. So this full moon has the potential to help us to eliminate some childhood coping mechanism that we no longer need, that has been hampering our ability to feel free, to feel spontaneous, to feel joyful, both within ourselves and within our creativity and within our relationships. We're releasing any toxic behaviors during this full moon. So this could be any addictions, any dependencies on substances or on overworking or on, anything that is taking us away from knowing our needs, communicating our needs, and from intimacy with ourselves and with other people. A really beautiful message came through when I was contemplating and reflecting on this full moon. And this is that we are going to experience, if we work with these energies, an uplift. Your soul, on some level, if you are in a path of awakening and healing, which I'm assuming you are if you're listening to this video, your soul has already made a decision that you may or may not be aware of to free itself, to liberate itself from some childhood pattern or coping mechanism. And I want to give you an example. So let me give you an example from my own life that I hope will be healing in some capacity for you. So I grew up in a family where there was a lot of fighting, a lot of dissension. My father had come from an abusive environment where his dad was emotionally and physically abusive. And my mom came from an environment where her father was abusive in his own way to his mom. So for my mom, it was very difficult to deal with my father's, emotional unpredictability, lots of mood swings, lots of, we never really knew what we were getting, even though he's a very loving man, very loving soul. Because I often experienced my father as being mean to my mom, and it was very hard for me as a highly sensitive person to witness that and not be able to do anything about it as a child, I unconsciously took on the role of my mother's caretaker. Of course, I had no idea I was doing that. I had no idea I was trying to protect my mom as a young child. But in my own mind as a child, I felt like I needed to do this. Now, fast forward a number of years, I'm around age 40, around that kind of midlife crisis time for women anyway, 40 to 42. And I'm doing all the spiritual work. I'm meditating, I'm, reading all the books, spiritual books, and I'm really having my own opening experience. And I have a dream one night, and in my dream, It's a very simple dream. In my dream, and probably one of the most powerful dreams, the top 3 most powerful dreams I've ever had in my life. I am sitting there with my mom in front of me, and I am just kissing her back. This is all I'm doing in this dream. I'm just gently kissing my mom's back. And all of a sudden, I get this angel message coming through. I get this feeling of an angel coming through saying, Betsy, you don't have to protect your mom anymore. You don't have to take care of your mom anymore. And I woke up sobbing and sobbing and sobbing. It was such a release for my soul. It was an incredible release for my soul. I have never had a dream that was a message dream like that was so shifting for me. It was so life-shifting. And you might ask, well, how did that shift your life? Energetically, this burden was lifted from me. It was lifted from me. How did it change my relationship with my mom? It didn't change my relationship in a 3D way that much for me, but what it did was it took this feeling of I need to, put my energy into making sure my mom is okay energetically. It took this off of my shoulders. And shortly after that is when I started to open up to this career as a spiritual teacher, as a healer. It's when I started to give workshops out of my living room, and I did a training in expressive arts therapy. It opened up so much for me. It opened up all of this space in my heart, and all of this, this is what Capricorn is all about. In Capricorn, we feel a sense of responsibility. We feel an obligation, and very often we're very aware of it, but often we're not aware of it because it's coming from this almost like this vow that we took on at a very young age. Like I said, a coping mechanism. And when you can cut the cords to that sense of responsibility that is no longer valid for you. It's expired. It's over. My mom could take care of herself. My mom was a fully grown adult. My mom could do her own healing work, right? And so that's when we say, I release you to your own path of healing. And I do this with my coaching clients too. I take them through a whole process of cutting the unhealthy cords. We'll never cut the healthy cords, never cut the heart cords, but the unhealthy cords where we are being codependent in a sense with people and trying to, do their own healing for them, which of course never works. We can't do that anyway. So you may have a place in your life where you are still carrying a burden, where you're still carrying a sense of responsibility for someone, for something. It could be around a job, it could be around a relationship, it could have to do with finances or health, something that you're being invited to wake up to during this time, something that is ready for you to eliminate, to let go of. And Pluto often will just come in and do that for us. Pluto is where we can feel out of control. Pluto is where we can, I don't mean out of control as in like going crazy out of control. I mean out of control is where we feel like I have no control over this. This is going away. Maybe the other person is making a decision for you. Maybe you're let go from your job. I hope that doesn't happen unless that's what you want. But it's often something that just happens that we feel like, especially during a full moon, it's happening from an external source. And really what they're doing is they are freeing us, even if it doesn't feel like that in the moment. Now, second aspect, we have Uranus in Taurus. Uranus in Taurus, also an earth sign, in positive energy flow with the moon and the sun. Uranus is the freedom planet. It is where Uranus comes in and gives us an aha moment. It gives us a realization. The light bulb goes off. It gives us a freeing insight. It is liberation. Sometimes it can be felt as, something out of the blue, unexpected happy miracle, and sometimes it can be felt as disruptive. But either way, in positive energy flow like it is, Uranus is trying to free us. So that example that I gave you of the dream that I had, that message dream, could be something that is similar, that it comes through some sort of message for you, because Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury, and Mercury is the winged messenger. So Uranus is wanting to bring us some sort of message, some sort of insight, something that frees us. Aspect number 3, Venus is trine Saturn. Venus is about love, money, pleasure, beauty, the divine feminine. It is trining Saturn, which is the rules, the structure, doing the work. It's a solid foundation. So here's Venus with all these wonderful things that we want, these beautiful things, these feel-good things, including love that we want, connecting with Saturn and positive energy flow to help us strengthen a foundation. So for some of us, we're going to cut the cords, we're going to cut the ties to something. For others of us, we're going to strengthen our foundation with another person or with a job. We're going to take things to the next level, maybe in a relationship or in a job or in a career. Taking things to the next level will be up-leveling. So this is a really beautiful grounding, stabilizing aspect where Uranus wants to free us of something and it might feel unstable and disruptive at first. Saturn with Venus come in and say, we're going to stabilize this. We're going to strengthen this foundation in whichever area of life this is happening for you. And the last aspect is Venus square Neptune. Now, Venus, again, love, money, beauty, pleasure, all the yummy things in life. Squaring Neptune, Neptune is the dreamer self. Neptune is our ideal. Neptune is where we can sometimes have our head in the clouds, but it's the higher octave of Venus. It's also the really beautiful things in life. When I think of art and I think of music and films, all of these beautiful artistic things, this is Neptune. And so this is going to be fabulous for our creativity. This is where your creativity could really go off the charts. This is also something that could be really beautiful for relationships. It could bring a lot of excitement and passion into a relationship. Neptune is also our connection to our higher self. So if you find yourself feeling disappointed during this full moon by something, if something isn't meeting your expectations, or you suddenly feel like you've been dropped from way up high down to the ground, you kind of hit with a thud, this is where Neptune wants us to go to our higher self, wants us to bring in compassion, because Neptune is also about unconditional love. So one of the healing energies of this full moon in Capricorn is compassion for self and compassion for others. And this reminds me of the prayer, the Ho'oponopono, the Hawaiian prayer. This is how Ho'oponopono prayer goes. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And I want to acknowledge that it's really hard to apologize or ask for forgiveness or give another person forgiveness when we feel really hurt, when we feel like someone did us wrong, so to speak. But there's something so freeing in letting go and surrendering and asking Spirit to help us. Spirit, help me bring your unconditionally loving, compassionate energy into my awareness, into my energy field, so that I can shine this on the other person. And that is the ultimate liberator. That is the ultimate energy that will get us out of feeling funk or disappointment or sadness or grief. Okay, my friends, so let's go through the 12 signs and look at where this is happening in your natal astrology. That would be your rising sign, how this is affecting you on an emotional level, that's your moon sign, and how you're experiencing this in the Earth school on a personality level, that is your sun sign. So be sure and listen for all 3 signs. And let's start with Capricorn. Capricorn, this is your full moon. This is your full moon. It's happening in your first house of identity, of your persona, your image, your roles in the world, and you may be shifting your identity. You may have a real transformational moment during this full moon in Capricorn where you are realizing that you are so much more than you ever thought you were. You may have a real expansion during this time, going from the caterpillar to the butterfly, going from the rising from the ashes like the phoenix. So that could be really beautiful for you. Now, Capricorn, the first thing I want to share with you is the message from Spirit. Spirit said that you are going to go through a big change. There is an area of life, and this could be any area, not just the first house areas that I just mentioned to you. This is happening across from your 7th house of relationships and partnerships as well. Any partnership in which you are committed, any significant relationship, including your relationships with your children, if you have children, you know, with parents, with significant people in your life. So this could, being on, you know, your ascendant, basically, this could for you bring up a lot of different possible changes. It's going to be different for everyone. But Spirit's wanting to tell you that there is an energy here for you roaring forward, are the words I got from Spirit. You will be roaring forward and you're encouraged to take a leap. A brave new world is opening up for you, Capricorn, if you can begin to see yourself as who you really are, as the powerful being that you really are. A whole new level of energy, of courage, of, you know, this forward moving energy is going to rise up for you. So I hope that you're excited. And if you feel fear, you know, I call it in my book, The Magic of Saying Yes, exhilarated fear, where you have a sense of excitement and exhilaration, even a sense of, wow, I feel free to do something new. And like you could feel completely terrified at the same time. You could feel both at the same time. That is a good sign. That is a really good sign if that's what you're feeling. So let's pull a card for you now. Beautiful Capricorns. All right, we're going to pull a card and see what the cards have to say for you. Capricorn. Okay, this is so cool. I love this card. The card is Dance. Check it out. Full expression, go for it. Show your true colors. There's a swan here, which reminds me of grace, letting in the grace. And it says, step into the light. This is so what we just talked about. Step into the light. Share your gifts and talents with the world. You have a lot to share with people, Capricorn. Step into the light and share your gifts and talents with the world. And let me know, leave me a comment below. Let me know if this resonates for you. And if you haven't already listened to my opening where I talk about the aspects that are happening, be sure and go back to listen to those aspects so that you know, you get more information on how to work with these energies. Happy full moon in Capricorn. Okay, Aquarius. Hello, Aquarians. Aquarius, this full moon is happening in your 12th house. Your 12th house of retreat, of the subconscious mind. It's the shadow self. It's also the mystical self, where you connect with the divine, where you have your spiritual powers of otherworldly things like astral travel, and where you get dreams that, you know, give you messages from the divine. It's a very, very divine, deeply moving, transformational placement to have a full moon. Now, your message from Spirit is allow yourself to rest. Allow yourself to rest. Right now, Neptune is retrograde and we feel more tired during a Neptune retrograde. And because your 12th house is traditionally ruled, the 12th house is traditionally ruled by Neptune, you could be feeling more exhaustion than usual. So be sure to give yourself permission from that. Your message from Spirit, additionally, is you are going through an integration. There's an integration that's happening on an inner level of different parts of yourself. And it's really important to bring forgiveness to yourself. Forgiveness, forgive yourself for anything that you, don't hold any grievance against yourself. Anything that you feel happened in your past, any regrets, anything that you would do a do-over on, it's really important that you let that go. So because you're clearing the slate, you're creating a brand new beginning for yourself. When, you know, the moon moves into your first house is when you're going to be feeling, you know, rejuvenated and a brand new beginning again. So the Ho'oponopono prayer comes up. I already talked about that prayer in the main part of the video before I went into the readings. So if you haven't heard that, I invite you to go back. That is a perfect prayer. It's super empowering to do when you're going through a letting go and forgiveness process. So let's see what the cards have to say for you. Aquarians. Aquarius. And your card is self-respect. This card is so perfect for a Capricorn full moon because Capricorn is also about respect. And it says, respect yourself. You are the best judge of what's right. So if you are going through anything with another person, which often happens during a full moon, this card is saying, you know what respect feels like for you. Do not let anyone talk you out of your needs, Aquarius. Do not let anyone tell you that any place where you feel disrespected, this is really important for you to honor. Respecting yourself enough to say no, to set boundaries, to draw a line. You're the best judge of what's right for you. So happy full moon, Aquarius. Okay, Pisces. Hello, Pisces. Pisces, this full moon is happening in your 11th house of community, of social media, of friendships, of any groups or organizations that you belong to. Your message from Spirit is that it's time to assess your alliances. This is where we build alliances, where we do marketing, where we do networking, people that we feel we can rely on. And the question Spirit has for you is, who has your back? Are you spending time with people who you don't feel have your back? If so, that's disempowering for you. That's not, you need more support than that. So is there a friendship that has expired for you? You've raised your vibration. You've done a lot of inner work. You have shifted. Your relationships need to keep up with that. And I know sometimes, we go in and out of relationships. We spend less time with someone and then we go back to it, and that's fine. But what Spirit is wanting to bring your attention to is that it's very important right now that you really honor your energy. You don't let yourself get drained by any social contacts or memberships that you're a part of that are draining your energy, that are not aligned with your vibration and your frequency right now. All right, so let's pull a card for you, Pisces. What do the cards have to say for Pisces? Your card is Magnificence. Own your magnificence. The world needs your brilliance and your grace. So this is saying, treat yourself like the precious being that you are. Treat yourself like you would treat a best friend who's, you would have their back. You support them unconditionally. Only spend time and be committed to and use your energy toward alliances that give you the same. And if you feel like, well, then there's not going to be anyone left if I cut ties with those people. That happens. I know, I've been there before too, many times. But that void will get filled in if you are not, if you don't have, it's so easy to have like one foot in to relationships that are not fully supporting you, but they're giving you something, right? They're filling some space, and then one foot out. And it's Spirit saying no. And Capricorn energy ruled by Saturn, we have to have both feet into what is right for us. So both feet in, it may create a void for you, but that void will get filled in because the universe has your back, and you will be rewarded by taking that risk and having the courage to step out of anything that isn't fully supporting you. Okay. All right. So let's do Aries. Aries. Hello, beautiful Aries. Aries, this is happening in your 10th house. Your 10th house is where you're having the full moon in Capricorn, and 10th house is career. It's life purpose. It's your legacy. It's where we are. It's the most public house. It's where we want recognition, where we want to be seen. It's where we want to see the results of our hard work. It's also life purpose. Your message from Spirit is that you may have to step back for a moment during this full moon, and you're encouraged to do so in order to really see where are you fulfilled and where are you not fulfilled in any of those areas that I just mentioned. This full moon is like a checking in point. It wants you to check in. This is where you have a solid, you want to have a solid, sustainable foundation for those areas I mentioned, for your career, for your life purpose, for something that gives you a sense of meaning. And if it doesn't give you meaning, it's draining your energy. It may even be toxic for you. So this could have to do with a job, of course, since it's career. It could have to do with a business. You may want to start your own business. And this could be ending something or beginning something, or both. It could be building a new business. It Capricorn's a building energy. Spirit also says that you are at a critical turning point in this area, and that it's not going to serve you unless you are passionate about what you're doing. It's very important to give yourself permission to only pursue something that gives you passion right now. And I know sometimes we say, well, I don't have the money to leave my job, or I don't have the funds to start a new business, or I don't have the support, I don't have this. But what is important to do is to create a vision, to get support for your vision, to get support for creating a vision. If you need to invest in yourself, Aries, invest in, I'm thinking Capricorn full moon, invest in yourself right now. This is the time to invest in yourself when you've got a full moon at the top of your chart saying, what do you need? And for some of you, because the 4th house is opposite your 10th house, there could be something happening in home and family that you need to pay attention to, attend to, cut ties to, or just some inner work, because 4th house is also your inner self, in order for you to be able to shine your light brightly in your 10th house. Okay, so let's pull a card for you now. Beautiful Aries. All right, Aries. Courage. This is so perfect. Okay. It says, take the leap. Your courage will see you through. Take the leap, Aries. And you are good at this. This is such an Aryan card. You are a pioneer. You're the pioneers of the zodiac. You take leaps. You take chances. You don't say, oh, that's too impulsive, I'm not going to do it. You bring down that inspiration and you act on it, Aries. You have that fire to do it, and you have the courage. It's just, it's built into you, this courage. So this is such a perfect card for you, and I'm so glad. I hope this is really encouraging to you. Leave me a comment below. Let me know if this resonates for you, and I wish you a most beautiful full moon in Capricorn. Okay, Taurus. Taurus, this full moon is happening for you in your 9th house. Your 9th house is adventure, it's spirituality, it's new horizons, it's where you're expanding, It's also your belief systems and higher learning. It could be like university level learning, or learning in different new modalities for healing and spirituality. Your spirit, the universe, the message for you from the universe is, give yourself permission to go outside the lines of your regular way of doing things, of your way of thinking, of your way of seeing. When we have a full moon in the 9th house, it's trying to help us expand. And sometimes you could get a jolt of something in order to wake you up from your, like, being in a rut, from like, this is the way I go to work. These are the people that I hang out with. This is the work that I do. This is like, it all works for me. It keeps me feeling safe. It keeps me feeling stable. And that is your gift of creating stability. But you need a new spark, Taurus. And let me know in the comments if this is true for you. You need a new spark. And the way that Spirit is trying to bring this to you is by helping you to open up to new possibilities. Open up your thinking. Open up the way that you are seeing life. You are poised for an awakening during this full moon. Would you like to have a spiritual awakening? Would you like to have a breakthrough? Because if you would, you're invited to. Like, I would, if I were you and I were having this particular full moon, which has this, very strong Uranus transit, which is all about awakening, and it's happening in your 9th house, which is the spiritual house of awakening, basically, I would be asking for it. I would be setting the intention. I would be saying, I'm open. Yes, bring me an awakening. Okay, so let's pull a card for you. See what the cards have to say. Taurus. Awareness. This says, practice present moment awareness. The meaning you yearn for lies in the ever-present now. So there is a spiritual message for you if there ever was one. Present moment awareness. Any tools that help you to be more present, meditation, breath work, yoga, walking in nature, sitting and feeling the sun on your body, journaling, whatever it is, and I'm hearing, acknowledge your emotions, write down your feelings, let them move through you. There is an invitation that is coming to you now to practice present moment awareness, which is going to help bring you that awakening that is almost a promise during this full moon in Capricorn for you, Taurus. So happy full moon in Capricorn. And if you haven't listened to the beginning of the video where I go through the aspects, I really encourage you to do so because you'll get more empowering tips on how to work with these energies. Okay, Gemini. Hello, Gemini family. I have a Gemini sun. Gemini, this is happening for you, this full moon in Capricorn, in your 8th house, your 8th house of transformation. So this will be a transformational full moon for most Geminis. This is the house of death and rebirth. It's the phoenix rising from the ashes. It is also taxes, money, taboos, sexuality. So you could be having a sexual awakening actually opening for you during this, healing for you during this full moon time, or simply a transformational aha moment, something that comes down for you that it makes you feel lighter and more playful, as is your birthright, beautiful Gemini. Your message from Spirit, additionally, is examine where you might be holding yourself back. Be willing to be super honest with yourself. The 8th house is traditionally ruled by Pluto, which is about truth and honesty. When we get super honest with ourselves, as you know, is when we can really create some change, when we can really take some action in our lives. This is a time for you to think about what any new boundaries you need to set. Give yourself permission and bring in unconditional love for yourself and for anyone else. If you have a falling out with someone, if you just have a disappointment or something really difficult happen, bring in compassion for yourself and for others, and get help and support if you need it going through that process. And let's pull a card for you, Gemini. All right, Geminis. Ooh, your card is risk. Take a risk. You have the power within to move mountains. What a beautiful acknowledgement, Gemini. You have the power within to move mountains. I feel like this card is saying shake things up from your life. If you're in a rut, if you've been doing the same thing, if you've been, maybe it's working for you mostly, but when you've got a full moon in the 8th house, it wants to bring you also more pleasure and passion and passion, excitement, like digging deep and pulling up the treasure from within. So take a risk, and then you can move those mountains and you can receive that treasure, that gift of this full moon. Happy full moon, Geminis. Okay, Cancer, beautiful Cancer family. I have moon in Cancer and Cancer rising. So Cancer, for you, this is happening in your 7th house of partnerships. This is going to be a full moon you're going to feel it. You're absolutely going to feel it, because the full moon in Capricorn is opposing whatever you have in Cancer, whether it's moon rising or sun, it's opposing that. And especially if it's near the degrees of your Cancer rising moon or sun, you're definitely going to feel this. It will probably show up in an external person or situation that is testing you in some way, that is helping you to source the personal power within. Cancers, make sure that you go back to what you need and you stand your ground and you speak your needs and you stay true to yourself during this full moon. The message from Spirit is that you could feel that someone has gone cold on you, okay? That's very Capricornian, lower active, shadow side Capricorn, is when someone or something goes cold on you. And for Cancers, this is so painful. I know it. It's so painful when someone distances someone you care about, someone you're intimate with, distances themselves from you, like says, talk to the hand, because you want connection, you want intimacy, you want warmth, because you bring that to other people. Now, if this happens for you, I'm just glancing at my notes because there's no way I could possibly remember this for all these messages for all 12 signs. It says, put yourself first, have compassion for yourself and for the other person or people or situation. Bring in compassion. Ask Spirit for help to give you what you need to get through if there's anything difficult. It could also be really beautiful. You could have an up-leveling in a relationship. You could be taking a relationship to the next level. You could be feeling more passion. Someone could propose to you. You could be, getting married. You could be, full moon in your 7th house could be a commitment that you receive or proposal. So it could be awesome. Like, it could be great. But if it's difficult for you, music, movement, dancing, journaling, anything to do with the arts, making art, creating something will be really healing for you, Cancers. And let's pull a card for you now and see what the cards have to say for Cancers. Cancer. Your card is action. So this is saying don't stand still. Take action. The journey to find yourself begins with one step. So if this is a full moon for you, that is where you're listening to your spirit and you're getting a nudge to do something, to take an action, do it. Trust yourself. You know what you need at a gut level in your solar plexus. Your intuition will tell you. You can trust yourself in every moment to do the thing that's right for you, beautiful Cancer. Happy Capricorn full moon. Okay. Leo, this full moon in Capricorn is happening in your 6th house, of work, of everyday routines, of health. This is your body. This is the nutrition that you take in. It's what you eat. And it's definitely, any exercise you do, working out, etc. You may get a new job during this time. You might get a promotion. You might get an upgrade in the areas that I just mentioned. Maybe you've been working on a health issue and you might get a new answer to healing that you've been wanting. You might have to make a decision, or you might get to make a decision. You will likely be making a decision whether to stay or whether to go from a work situation, this really could be anything. It could also be a relationship. There's very likely a focus on your health, and you could finally be seeing results from something you have been doing. Be sure that you are, in any of your interactions with any important people in your life, whether it's work or finances or health, or who you spend your leisure time with, your relationships, make sure you are receiving the recognition. You feel that other people support you as well, that they have your back, that you're not just, that you don't feel like you're falling short. Self-respect is in terms of what you're receiving from others. And remember, that means you might have to ask for what you want and need as well. Self-respect came up from you. Self-celebration, self-acknowledgement. This is the time to acknowledge yourself and how far you've come in your own healing journey. And if you're feeling frustrated, like I'm still in pain, I still haven't lost the weight I want to lose, or you're just feeling stuck, then it's really important to count your blessings and count, most of all, give yourself credit for what you have achieved. Okay, so the cards. What does the card have to say for Leos? Leo. The card is love. Choose love. Let your love become a powerful force for change. You have a wellspring of love inside of you, Leo. You are one of the most, all signs are lovable, but I love your spirit, Leos. Both of my parents were Leos. I love Leo energy. It's so fiery. It's so warm. It's so celebrational. You love celebrating. You love life. You have a joie de vivre. And this is saying, bring that love that's within you up and share it with other people, because this will change. Love is the most healing force. If you are dealing with a health issue or something else that is causing you pain on any level, emotional, mental, physical, how can you bring love in for healing? Because love is the most powerful healing force in the universe. And if you need support on that, I can support you. Go to my website and check out my services. Happy full moon, Leos. Okay, Virgos. Virgo, this full moon in Capricorn is happening in your 5th house. Your 5th house of romance, of true love, of children and creativity. Your 5th house is your house of fun. It's your house of doing things just for fun because they light you up, because they're playful, because it takes you back to your inner child. This is an inner child full moon for you. Your message from Spirit is that you are being rewarded in some way during this full moon. You may be rewarded in the area of a close friendship, in your creativity. There's this full moon wants to up level you. Now, for some of you, this could mean that you cut ties to a relationship, or you cut ties to something that isn't at your vibration or your frequency, but then you will create space for something new to come in that will be able to give you what you give to it. Some of you may be getting engaged. I'm just reading my notes here. I can't remember all of these, Virgo. There's so many, but it's also saying that, this could have to do with children if you're a parent. It could have to do with anything if you work with children. But this is the message from Spirit, is that you've come a long way. Make sure and celebrate. You're getting an upgrade. Remember how creative you are. Remember that you have a connection to the divine that can heal any situation. So if you're in a situation that feels somehow very pivotal, because this is a pivotal full moon. This is when a lot of us are going to be making a decision in whatever area of life this is happening for you. So if this feels very pivotal to you and you feel like you're kind of on shaky ground, make sure you get support from a friend or a coach or someone or an astrologer who can help you so you don't feel like you're doing it all alone. And let's see what the cards have to say for Virgos. Shuffling the cards. Okay, this card came out. Pleasure. This is so fifth house. I love it. Okay, pleasure. It says, do something just for fun. Oh my gosh, you can't make this stuff up. Pleasure is one of life's essential nutrients. Pleasure is one of life's essential nutrients. It completely changes your vibration. Let yourself laugh. Do things that make you laugh. Watch videos that make you laugh. Watch movies that are funny. Do something just for fun. Okay, beautiful Virgo. Happy full moon. And Libra, this full moon in Capricorn is happening in your 4th house. Now, when I tuned into Spirit for you, I got a very clear message for you. And your message is that you are making a decision, a very clear decision. It is time to make a decision, Libra, during this full moon time. A week before, a week after, it is time for you to make a decision. There's something that your soul has decided, and it's final. It's final, and it's 4th house. So this could be home, family. This could be your physical home. This could be your immediate family, your family of origin. This could be healing something, ancestral healing even. This is about your sense of safety and your roots. It's your inner self. It's our childhood stuff. So make sure you watch the beginning of the video where I talk about the different aspects and how you can work with them if you haven't, because this is a real time for a lot of us to heal and release something from our childhood. So you are making a decision. This could very well affect your home and your living situation. There's a new freedom that as you do this healing, you are going to feel a new freedom. You're going to feel lighter. You're going to feel there's going to be a tension released. Okay. This could have to do with a responsibility that you feel because you've got the 10th house across from your 4th house. This could ripple out to your 10th house of career or work. So it could show up in either area. And it could also be around your mental health that is also affecting your physical health or your emotional health. So be sure you get support if you need it for any of those areas. I feel like this is going to be a really good forward moving full moon for you, Libra. And the only other advice I have for you is do the work. That's what Capricorn says. I have a best friend who's a Capricorn, and we would talk on the phone and she'd go, okay, now work, now get to work. And that's such a Capricorn thing. In Capricorn full moon time, we have to do the work, inner work, outer work. We have to do the work to get the results we want. Okay, let's see what the cards have to say for you. Libras. Okay, Libra, the card is faith. So if you're doing something that is scary to you, if you're doing something that feels like you may feel like, I don't have the resources for this, I need to move out, I need to, whoever I'm living with needs to move out, whatever. I want to change my home, I want to change something that requires resources I don't have faith. Make the decision first. That's when the universe can come in and give us the resources. We have to decide first. We have to commit first. This says faith grows when you act without knowing the end result. Faith grows when you act without knowing the end result. That's when the universe can meet you halfway and begin to help you with whatever you need. You will get what you need, but get support if you need it, so you don't feel like you're doing it alone, because you're not alone, beautiful Libra. Okay, Scorpio. Scorpio, this full moon in Capricorn is happening in your third house. Third house is your local environment. Your immediate environment is your neighbors, your neighborhood. It is your, wherever you do business, wherever you go and do your regular things, work out at the gym or go to yoga or, go do your grocery shopping. It's also short trips, and it's sibling relationships. So you are releasing something and starting something new in this area of those things that I just mentioned. Your message from Spirit is that you may feel a tightness or a tension around one of these areas, something to do with your immediate environment, because there needs to be a shift in one of these areas, or your sibling relationships. You are expanding your spirituality, your horizons, this would be a great time to take some sort of adventure. There's something that's opening up for you spiritually. There's something that's opening up in your belief systems or in your way of seeing. You're making a shift. So it's very important that you allow yourself to be flexible in your mind enough to see something differently, to see something from a new perspective. If you are dealing with another person, which a lot of us will be during this full moon, try to see it from their perspective. Or get support from someone else who can help you see it from the other person's perspective, because there's a gift that's coming to you in expanding your way of thinking, or expanding your spirituality, or feeling like you have a new level of support from your spiritual source that you haven't felt before. Spirit says that this full moon is trying to help you let go of a construct, like a mental construct, because the third house also rules communication and the way we perceive our reality. And we don't perceive the truth, we perceive what we believe. We don't perceive the truth, we perceive what we believe. So we have to shift a belief in order to oftentimes see a new truth that is going to actually help us with our relationships, with our partnerships. And you will receive the gift of more spontaneity, more joy, more openness, more flexibility, just feeling like you can be more of your authentic self with other people through allowing yourself to make this shift. So let's shuffle. I'm shuffling the cards here, and let's see what the cards have to say for you, beautiful Scorpios. I know this is probably going to be an emotional time for you, but the cool thing is that because Capricorn is in positive energy flow with Scorpio, I think it won't be hard to see. And you Scorpios are not afraid to dig deep, to go deep and ask for answers. And that's what, may be asked of you during this full moon. So let's see, Scorpio card. Intent. This is a card of intention. This is showing how powerful you actually are, and that when you create a clear intention, you put the energy out into the universe, and what you're asking for comes back to you. And this is calling for focus. And you're good at this, Scorpio. It says focus your energy. There is amazing power and a strong intention. So what do you want to receive back from this full moon? What is your intention? How do you want to feel? You are deeply feeling water sign. What do you want to feel? What is the emotion or quality of being that you want to feel? Intend that and put it out into the universe, and stay connected with your higher self, and you shall receive. Happy full moon. Okay, Sagittarius. Sagittarius, this full moon is happening in your second house. Your second house of income from your work, your second house of self-esteem, your values, and your soul esteem. This is where we are learning to know our worth, to ask for what we know we're worth, what we want to make in a job or in career or with clients. This is really where, when we have a full moon in the second house, this can bring something to fruition for you. It could bring a new job, it could bring a promotion, it can bring more money for sure. It could also bring up doubts about, am I worthy? Am I worth what I want, what I'm asking for? So Spirit's message for you is that this is time for you to receive more recognition and rewards. In Capricorn, this is very 3D earthly stuff. This is You know, this can be achievement. This can be where you've had ambition. You have earned a higher status, Sagittarius. So don't play small, dream big, ask for what you want, let the universe bring it to you. Know your worth. Know that you are worthy of what your heart desires. You worked for this, you've worked hard for it. This could come in a lot of different areas, but most likely it's going to be what I said. You know, values, they span everything, right? Value, how you value your health, how you value your relationships, your friendships, your, you know, significant partnerships. This is money. This is everything, basically. Values connect to everything. So whatever you decide you want, and this could be possessions too, that you want something nicer, you want to upgrade your quality of possessions. Whatever it is, it will ripple out to every area of your life when you decide to put you first and put yourself in the status of queen or king. That, and notice your reaction when I said that. Notice what your reaction was. It is like, yes, I am a queen, or yes, I am the king, or did you have a different reaction? Whatever it is, that let that inform where you're headed. Let that inform, you know, your road from where you are now to getting there. And let's see what the cards have to say for you. Okay. Sagittarius. The card is tenderness. Tenderness. And so this is an inner child healing card. It's saying go back to your inner child and care for your inner child so that you can build your self-worth. Because that's a process. It doesn't happen in just, you know, it doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't happen in one full moon, right? It's a process for all of us. And I do have a separate video on healing your inner child. So I will link to it below, and I encourage you to watch that if that speaks to you, if that calls to you. This says, speak gently to yourself. Cherish the child within. Your inner child needs to know that you have her back, that you care for her, that you'll always be here for her, and that she is worthy just because she exists, just because, or he exists. You are worthy of everything that you desire because you are here, just because you are here. Happy full moon, Sagittarius. Thank you, my beautiful friend, for your time, your energy, and presence. It brings me such joy to have you here. I'm so grateful for you and for your support of my channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for taking a moment to give this video a like, to share it with other people who love astrology, and to subscribe so you don't miss my next video. And your subscribes really help me. Leave me a comment. Did this video resonate for you in any way? Did your readings resonate for you? Let me know. You will absolutely make my day, and I am so grateful for you. And if you'd like a personal astrology consultation, we can look at your natal chart, where your life purpose, your dharma shows up in your chart, at the current transits, how they're affecting your life, the upcoming transits, what you have to look forward to, when something that is difficult for you is going to change. And whatever it is that you want to create in your life going forward, there is power and empowerment in your astrology chart that I would love to share with you. And if you would like to do some coaching with me, if you would like someone who is your believing mirror, your confidant, your accountability partner to help you to follow through on those things that you want to do so you make real progress, so that you have a breakthrough, so that your life shifts in positive, significant ways, check out my coaching and or astrology readings. I will leave the links below to my website and to those pages. And I have a free gift for you. And my free gift is a guided meditation, Returning Home to Yourself. You get an instant download of this guided meditation, Returning Home to Your Heart, when you go to my website, sign up for my inspirational updates, and you will receive your free gift, instant download meditation. So until my next video, my friend, I am sending you all my love. Happy full moon in Capricorn.